What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about amps, sort of. We're going to talk about history. We're going to talk about the past, the present, the future, and where many of you are stuck. What's going on? I just want to bust in here real quick. This video today is brought to you by DylanTalksTone. We don't have any other sponsors, so DylanTalksTone is it. Specifically, I want to show you our Super 8 humbucker pickup, which is probably my favorite at this point. If you are looking for a PAF vintage style wind with just a little more, this is your jam. So we can go from, this is a pretty gainy setup, but just relatively clean. Without losing any clarity, full dynamic range of what you're looking for with a humbucker like this, playing super gainy stuff or super clean stuff. You're going to get all of it out of one pickup, and I really like that. So if you like that vintage style vibe with just a little more, this is it. I'll leave a link to it in the description and in the pinned comment at DylanTalksTone.com, and this is our Super 8 pickup. Back to the video. So, this is an amplifier. It makes guitar signal louder. This particular one, if I move my leg down here, you can see is the Tone Master Princeton. It's a digital modeling amp. In the last 20 years or so, they've been quite prolific. I probably have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different digital modeling ways to amplify guitar signal. No matter where you sit on this subject, you have to admit that there has been a lot of progress made in the whole digital modeling area, right? I've got this Kemper player, right? This is kind of it's the miniaturized version of sort of the new hotness. It's got the new liquid profiling stuff. It's got all the latest stuff that Kemper does. It's got the iPad app that it goes with. It's got all the stuff. So it's kind of the latest thing. Of course, there's stuff that's come out since then, but really, when it comes down to it, with the Shark processor and all the stuff, this is basically right there, right? You've got the quad cortex. You've got the new Line 6, which is pretty sick, right? Every time I talk about some sort of digital modeling thing, there will be somebody in the comments who says, yeah, but man, I remember, like, I tried a Line 6 pod and it sucked. And you're like, okay. When did the Line 6 pod come out? 1998. Came out in 1998. So, I was always curious, what is the comparison between the latest new hotness and a Line 6 pod? So I went on the old eBay and I bought not a version 2, not a Go, the actual original Line 6 pod, the complete guitar tone solution, the ultimate guitar direct recording tool with tube tone amp models and built-in stereo effects. Ooh, the box just looks so 1998. In fact, the software is included for free on a CD-ROM. How about that? You can shoot at these. They make great targets. So what we're going to do today is, I've actually never used one of these. I haven't even taken it out of the box yet. I just pulled it out of the eBay box, like the box that I got in the mail this morning. It just came like about an hour and a half ago. And pulled the plastic off it, and I haven't even tried it. I hope it works, because I don't even know. All right, let's see. Line 6 pod. says it's made out of recycled stuff. You're supposed to use it while drinking out of a cracked wine glass in the rain. And this is the us version, not the any of them version. There we go. What else we got on this box? Basically all the same stuff on all four sides. You could get a pedal to run with it, and then another pedal that looks sort of like an 80s car amp. Includes models based on 52 wide panel Fender Tweed, 1959 Bassman, 64 Blackface Deluxe. I guess we're let's see, Matchless Chieftain, AC-15. It's interesting that they put all of these on here. 4 unique Line 6 models. Do we have... We've got a Deluxe Reverb, but we don't have a Princeton, so that's okay. I've got some of these profiles on my Kemper, so we'll be able to check those. The best way to record sound direct, you'll never have to mic up an amp again, ever. Simple to operate, lots of knobs. That's funny. MIDI in and out for program switching, as well as complete MIDI. Complete feature list on the box bottom. What are we even doing? Air modeling. Air, that's like the shoes they were selling right back then. Wow, cool. Well, there you go. You get to read it all. Hopefully it is all here. Like I said, this is the first time I'm opening it. Okay, so it is. It looks like the kidney bean, like everybody says. We've got the CD-ROM. I don't even have anything that can do that. Wow, this came with all the paperwork and everything. This is cool. All right. Wonder if I can register it. And we've got a monstrous power supply. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's get the box out of the way. We don't care about this stuff. So just feeling-wise. Oh, it's actually metal, which is interesting. Okay. So we've got that. It doesn't have... Oh, here we go. Right output, direct amp plus air mode. Oh, okay, so that's left output. That's for the... Okay, so there's no like XLR. So we got to go left channel, right channel, out. So we'll probably just go left channel because that's the way the Kemper works too. All right, and we've got a bunch of buttons. Drive, bass, middle, treble, reverb, effect, tweak, noise gate, tuner, manual, MIDI, save, up, down, and then all of our amp models. And all of our effects on this side. This is actually pretty neat. This is actually a pretty well laid out user interface. I'm actually kind of impressed with this, considering that it was 1998, because it actually has more usability on it than the front panel, at first look anyway, of the Kemper. So the way the Kemper is we've got bass, middle, treble, rig volume. That's for another thing. We got master volume here. You've got some effects things that you can do here, and a gain. So very similar. And then you just toggle between settings, or you can, these are your models that you can choose here, and then you can choose banks with this, and then you can do a whole bunch of other stuff in the iPad. So user interface is obviously updated more towards what we know these days. Some would argue, though, that this might be actually a little easier, just having all this stuff right here. It doesn't do as much, but it is probably kind of easy. Well, I'll tell you what, let's plug it in and see if it works. Alright, so we're going to go over our little rig setup for our little test here today. We've got a Focusrite 18i8 right there, and so basically the red cable, because there's no XLR on the pod, is going to be going into input 2, and then input 1 is over here. That way we can kind of switch back and forth and kind of hear stuff if that's even necessary. Obviously we're just going to use GarageBand, no big deal, on the MacBook Pro. And then we've got our Kemper player here. Like I said, it's going to go into that other one. And then here is our Pod Go. Now, on the Pod Go, because I have routinely gotten accused of intentionally making things sound terrible. And we don't ever do that. Really, we're gonna start all this stuff with just everything basically at noon, except for in between playing with these profiles. I'm gonna basically just use the output level to balance, so that it doesn't clip and stuff, so we can get a good sound with it. So that's the only thing with that. And then we're basically just gonna manually go through these sounds and just kind of hear them, and then I just kind of want to get an overall impression of this thing, and then we'll move over to this thing and I'll try to find some kind of similar, I've got a tweed and I've got some other stuff in there so that we can kind of get an idea. My guess is though that it's going to be pretty apparent, the difference. And the comparisons that people make between this kind of stuff, oh, I tried this 20 years ago and it sucked, is just not even relevant anymore. All right, so let's just put this thing on black panel and just strum and see what happens. Okay. Let's put some, whoa, man, there's a lot of noise floor there. Okay. There's no treble. There's like zero. I'm like, do I have my tone knob all the way down? It's very noisy. The noise floor is like bonkers high. And that old thing of like latency, people use latency wrong. It's not like the timing of your finger, but there's just like a mush there that's weird. It's, I can see though, you gotta go back, like 1998, right? This was like cutting edge stuff, I get it. But it wasn't good. It's just not good. I mean, there's just like nothing there. It's just like a big mush ball. If any of you have ever played my P90s before, you know that's not what this sounds like. So let's go to something else. Brit Classic. I'm assuming this is some sort of Marshall. Yeah, it's like there's just nothing there. It's like, I get it, it sort of sounds like it was supposed to sound like, but there's no expressiveness there at all, and there's no feel at all. It's just a big mush. It sounds like I'm playing on flat wound strings. It's weird. See if it'll clean up and do like the... Okay, so it does the kind of like the cleanup pickup thing, sort of. Let's try modern high gain. It sounds like every nu metal band from like the early 2000s. It's just mushy. It's so mushy. What a weird thing. Yeah, I mean, okay, it's okay. It's like, I get it. I mean, okay, I get that it was a thing. But I just can't see where you play this and you go, every digital thing from now on sucks because of what I know of this. This is very interesting. Here's one thing I will tell you. I did some research on this. The processor that's in this is basically the same processor power of those little those electronic little pet things that you get your kids, or it's about the same processing power as like this like $15 fitness band that you can buy on Amazon now in 2025. Like that's the processing power of this. Yet it is still more processing power than was available when we sent people to the moon in the 60s, right? So the evolution, obviously, of this has gone so far. Let's switch over to the Kemper. Okay, so here we are on the Kemper. I've come over here and made sure that all the bass, middle, and treble and stuff is centered, just like the other one, just so we can be fair. I've got the gain kind of down towards clean, sort of like we did over here, and then we'll turn it up in a minute. So as fair as possible with this thing, but I'll tell you right now in testing, there is no fair. That is what a Fender Deluxe is supposed to sound like. I'll tell you what, let's throw a little gain on here and, well, let's just put a pedal on it and see what happens. There is no contest. If you're one of these guys who's been like, hasn't dabbled in digital stuff because A, you tried a Line 6 pod in 1998 when it had basically nothing for a processor in it versus anything that's available now. This was just twiddling a couple of knobs. You hook this thing up to an iPad and do a bunch of really fun stuff with it, and it's pretty cool. There's a lot of things that it can do. I have a few profiles on here that I use to test pickups with, and it works really well. That being said, I wish it would be neat if it just had like a little panel like this where you could just say, I want this amp and I want this effect, and boom, you're good to go. But processing power is a thing. Technology is a thing. It has marched along fairly quickly, and it's slowed down in the last few years. You know, the technology that is in this thing has been around now for a few years because there are limitations to everything. Do I think that in 10 years it's going to be that much better? Maybe. I think devices will get more capable and do more in a smaller box. But here's the thing. This, to a regular amp, was like this hugely measurable difference, right? If the real amp is here and this is way down here, and you can't even just compare it, right? But this, even if you're very, very critical, is right there. So it's not going to get better than a real amp. It's just going to keep inching up to it, inching up to it. And those incremental changes, are you actually going to hear in playing or feel in playing? Maybe, if you are a professional who uses this stuff all the time. But for 99% of us who play guitar for fun in our room like this thing will suffice. Whether the technology gets better exponentially in the future or not, the sound of the guitar is only going to get closer from here to here to a regular amp. I think what we're going to gain over the next few years is other functionalities. So back then, yes, you had to worry about obsolescence. You had to worry about, oh, it's going to get better and now this thing is going to suck because it got better and now this sucks. This sounds amazing. It'll sound amazing tomorrow. It'll sound amazing next year. It'll sound amazing the year after that. Why? Because that margin is so small that it doesn't even necessarily matter. I just think it's very interesting. I'm glad that I did this experiment because now I know for myself. I've said for a long time, that was so long ago, you shouldn't compare it. But now that I've done it for myself, I really can get behind that. Yes, all of us want a room full of tube amps. We all do. It would be amazing, right? But I don't have the room. I live in a neighborhood. I don't have, a dedicated soundproof practice space. So I'm kind of relegated to stuff like this. And so I think it's really cool, if you have not explored it before, to explore it. I'll leave links to this, and I'll leave links to a couple of the other things that I have around here, the Positive Grid stuff. That Princeton Tone Master is really fantastic. We use that for a lot of testing on pickups too. Very interesting. This thing makes everything sound bad. My pickups are amazing. They sound great. These P90s sound amazing. This thing makes them sound terrible. I wouldn't want to use that for anything. But now we know. Also, I have a really good Line 6 pod for sale. If anybody wants to buy it, I'll give it to you for $100. That's what I paid for it. Comes with a box and all the stuff and a CD-ROM that you can shoot at, because you probably don't have a CD-ROM drive on your computer. Let me know what you think of stuff like this in the comments, and subscribe and like if you like more guitar nerdery like this stuff here. You can get these pickups at DylanTalksTone. You can scan the little thing on the screen. You can go straight there and get them. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you in the next video.